Welcome to Adventures in Freeze Drying for Beginners. One of my favorite fruits and vegetables first thing in the spring, when it's finally available in the grocery stores, is watermelon. And so I bought my first watermelon. It's juicy, it's sweet. It is the taste of summer. How can I get the taste of summer in November or December or January when you're craving it to be nice outside and it just isn't? Let's see how freeze drying it goes. When I brought the watermelon home, I went ahead and cut the whole thing up at once. And so I've already pre-cut the watermelon and pre-froze it, but I did it in a couple of different ways. I have some larger chunks, some slices. For getting that back to my freeze dryer, I'm going to put that lid back on because it kind of stacks them. Now if I can get this off, there we go. I've got some more medium-sized chunks. And I did small chunks. And then this last tray is mixed of some medium and smalls. I wasn't sure with the water content how large of a slice I would want, because that's going to probably change how long it takes to freeze dry. So I thought I'd try some different things, see if we can get it reconstituted, if it's just a snack, if we powder it and make a juice out of it. I don't know what I'm doing with this watermelon yet. Stay tuned and we'll find out. It is summer now, and with it being nearly 90 degrees outside, and my house is in the 70s, I'm noticing I'm getting some condensation on my door, and that it's taking a lot longer for my machine to get below freezing, which is what I like to do when I pre-freeze food. So if you're in a climate that gets warm and humid, it's going to potentially take longer for your machine to cool off to put those loads in that are pre-frozen. Let's get my watermelon in. I have loaded my watermelon. I did this one that has a mix of medium and small chunks on the bottom. Then my small chunks, my medium chunks, and last but not least, those slices and large chunks are on top. I did that because the top seems to freeze dry the fastest and the bottom the slowest. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to close this. And one little thing I'm also going to do is get out this towel. My machine is sitting over carpet, so I want this towel on the floor so it's not dripping into my carpet. And then we'll go ahead and get the machine started. You'll want to make sure your drain valve is closed, which I've already done. Make sure your door is locked. Make sure you see the ring all the way around your door, meaning you have a seal, and then hit continue and let the machine do its job. Okay, it's been just over 30 hours since I put my watermelon in. It actually showed it was done about 6 o'clock this morning when I was getting up, getting ready for work, but I was headed to work. So the nice thing is I had my machine set for that extra 12 hours of dry time, so it gave me time to go to work and do what I needed to do and come home and get it out. So let's see if it's done. I don't think this is quite done yet because some of these bigger pieces are going down to like 60s and then 70s, 80s, 90s. So I don't think those big pieces are done. So I am going to go ahead and put this back in for a couple of hours and see what happens. Well, we've had 2 extra hours of dry time, so let's see if this is done yet. So when I was checking last time, it seemed as if the larger watermelon, now my trays did cool, my 2 hours got over without me, so I'm going to be looking for consistent temperature all the way through with this. So I'm reading 68, 70, 69, 70, 60, ooh, there's a spot that said 66, but 69, 70, 60. I did manage to get 2 trays that I had here into one bag. A little trick I've been doing with my oxygen absorbers is I just don't know if I trust that plastic to reseal well. So I keep just reusing one of these bags and then sealing it a little bit lower and then adding one to this and then getting this resealed right away. And I think that way it stays better longer. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug in my impulse sealer that came with my Harvest Right freeze dryer. And then that is set to these nice heavy Mylar bags, and I'm just gonna get that resealed. Then I'm going to make sure that OA is in here, pull that nice tight and flat, and get the top of that one sealed also. I like to seal twice just to make sure it actually is sealed. And then I've got a nice double seal up top here above my rip points so I can get that opened up later on when wanted. So now for the taste test. Nice piece of watermelon here. It definitely feels dry. Feels kind of like styrofoam. I would agree with people who have said this is watermelon cotton candy, except it gets kind of slimy at the end. It's not bad flavor, just a weird going to slimy. But I'm curious, can we rehydrate this and just have a piece of watermelon? Like, can you imagine having fresh watermelon, especially here in the Midwest in like January, that was just as yummy as when we froze it and put it in the freeze dryer? So I've got some ice water here, and I'm thinking I just want to put some drops onto this. I'm afraid if I soak it, it's just going to fall apart. But I'm guessing it'll soak water droplets up fairly quickly just because of the texture. And so I'm going to try kind of infusing this with water rather than just soaking it. And maybe that's not the best way. Maybe we should try a bowl of water while we're at it. So I will get that out while we wait. So I grabbed a bowl. I'm going to put a piece of watermelon in here. And I'm just going to go ahead and like just fill this bowl with some water here and let this, not so much that it's covered, but let it soak it up and into it. And then I'm going to keep dropping some water on this guy here. And we're going to let this take maybe a few minutes to soak up. I'm not sure this is going to work. It feels more like a sponge already than watermelon, so I'm not sure we're going to get that texture back. It's feeling slimy. So this one's actually, I can like squeeze the water out of it already, so it did not take long for it to rehydrate. Well, I'll try it. We'll see. That is a colossal fail. That is very slimy and not like fresh watermelon. I would not recommend rehydrating this. I think this would be a wonderful cotton candy-like snack, but we're not gonna rehydrate it. That's really gross. I don't even wanna eat the second piece. Ugh. So with watermelon, it is a dehydrated snack. It is not something you're going to want to rehydrate. Maybe if you froze it and put it in something, like if you wanted, ooh, there you go. You could put water on it, refreeze it, and like add it to a drink. I'm also wondering what would happen if I powdered this and added it to like water, or make like a watermelon daiquiri. I'm gonna guess you could powder this and add watermelon flavor to lots of things. Thank you for joining me at Adventures in Freeze Drying for Beginners. Have a good rest of your day.